Hi there and welcome. Hope you're having a nice day. The sun is out. It is currently 5 o'clock and sunny. Like we made it through the winter, kids. We did it. I was reading an article yesterday about some Donald Trump, something to do with Donald Trump, saying that a Taiwanese company was investing £100 billion into, I want to say 12, could be 5, I don't know, into facilities in the US to manufacture AI chips. Now, I don't have the article. It's literally, I read it. I was like, should I be paying attention to this? Went away. Brain kicked in. So, and I'm not going looking for it again because it's not, the actual figures ain't the point, right? Now, if they were saying they were putting $100 billion of taxpayers' money into manufacturing AI in the US, there'd be, well, do you know what? At this point, I don't think there would be fucking uproar because we don't uproar over anything these days. It doesn't matter. They actively try and knock us off and we're not saying anything. Well, some of us are. But, like normal folk, well, it's what we've been bred to do from the age of 4. Sit down in a line, wearing a uniform, shut up until you're spoken to, and then just say yes or no, sir, 3 bags full, sir, and repeat back, parrot fashion, what you've just been told, or you'll fail your exams. So I'm not dissing everybody for not being up to date on this, but there are a lot more people now waking up because especially over the past 5 years, the piss has been taken monumentally, and the gaslighting, the sheer no, that didn't happen, over so many things, the bullshit, the lies, Zelensky, just on his own, a comedian and an actor playing a part in a khaki fucking costume, and literally nobody's twigging on. Nobody's going, hold on a minute, that's his job title is comedian and an actor. Do you know what I mean? So perhaps he isn't that trustworthy as the leader of an entire country. But no. News says that he's desperate and we should all feel sorry for him. So yeah, carry on, get on topic. Anyways, $100 billion going into America. And Trump is saying, yes, this is going to create so many jobs. It's all going to be wonderful. Everything's fantastic. And ain't it great? And whatever. But if it had been taxpayers' money, people would think mildly different. Personally, I don't want that amount of fucking wealth going into AI. When, America, from what I can see, and my son's girlfriend's American, so from what I hear from her, also, like the UK, doesn't have a working healthcare system. Why are you pushing all of the money into AI and brain chips and all of this when literally people can't get decent healthcare or housing? Don't know about the housing state in America, but in the UK, housing is absolutely diabolical. If you come in on a boat, no trouble, mate, we'll sort you out. If you were born here, not a fucking chance of getting housed. Unless you all of a sudden develop humongous wealth and can pay to go private, right? So anyways, I got thinking about this $100 billion, right? And I'm like, and the fact that it's like, oh, it's investment, it's good thing. Why do these people have this money in the first place? Why does Elon Musk have billions of dollars, right, to put into things like SpaceX and shit like this? And, and I know people have gone, why don't you put that into healthcare? Why don't you help? And, all that argument is not really the argument that I'm on about. It's the fact that there's billionaires in the first place. Now, this was a massive redistribution of wealth in 2021, was it, when the what was rolled out? 9 new billionaires were created off that alone. Now, that money came from the taxpayer. Those billionaires became billionaires off the back of everyday man, woman, and child that was being fleeced for tests, for PPE. All of that had to be paid for. And that got taken out of our coffers and put in the hands of rich people's. So now it's still the same wealth, right? Now, I've said this, been saying this for 17 years, but there are only two things that money could physically equate to ever. That is things, actual fucking items, right? Stuff, wood, metal, water, oil, that kind of stuff. Things and people's manpower, gifts and abilities, talents, hard work. They're the only two things that money could add up to. Crypto does not exist. All the money you pay on the games that you play does not exist. You've bought, say you go out and you spend 60 quid on a new game. You have bought a disc and a case that is worth no more than £1. The £60, what you're paying for there does not exist. They make it once and literally it's ethereal, if you like. Now, the actual resources on the planet when we went through 2020 and whatever we paid for them, and that money was given to the people that made them, and those people now have all the billions that we spent. That means that these people, the rich people, can decide what happens on our planet. They can decide to build fucking tunnels or high-speed railways to fucking nowhere. They can fap it up a wall. I did it again. Spaff it up a wall, as Boris Johnson would say. Literally, it was a massive redistribution of wealth. And we're fucked. Whilst we live under this system, it's like now, for example, and I've not used it yet because I know I've not got AIDS, but I did apply for the free AIDS testing kit. Well, if I have AIDS, like, I want to know how. But this thing cost money to produce. We're like, oh, yeah. Oh, it weren't the billionaires that paid for that. It was the taxpayer that paid for that. And it was the billionaires that got paid for producing that. Well, the people who produced it just are like us. They paid for it to happen as well. A few greedy people at the fucking top have all the money and they decide where the resources go and where the manpower is used. It is none of this is decided by the taxpayer. Absolutely nothing that goes on in our country is decided by us. We can't say, excuse me, but I don't want all of this money spent on this useless thing that it literally. I mean, let's go back to useless PPE, for example. Millions and millions, it was probably billions on that literally went into the pockets of wealthy people. We didn't even get any back from that because it was faulty. Do you know what I mean? It is literally, billionaires are a mass redistribution of wealth. Everything that belongs to the common man, that we're all born naked and alone with only our two hands, our gifts and abilities, and the things to do with, on the things on the planet to do things with our gifts and abilities. That's all, the only two physical things that money could ever buy you. The rest, and even then, you've got fancy numbers. Some people go, oh yeah, like I was born into a wealthy family, or I did so-and-so, or Paul McCartney, I'm going to earn 12 grand a second, mate. Or I think it's more than that, to be fair. Why? Who am you? And these people, like you've got Paul McCartney, Bono, Girl Death, and whatever, he's a sir, so he should be investigated immediately. Not just for the suspicious deaths around him, do you know what I mean? For other things that come along with the title Sir. And yes, Keir Starmer, I do stick in that club. It's got to be. Look at the man. Anyways, so it's like we've got some people who are earning humongous amounts of wealth, and guess how long they have in their day? Like, your resources, your gifts and abilities, you've only got 24 hours to use that in. And nobody gets more than that. Absolutely nobody. Obviously, the richer you get to employ other people. So what you do with your 24 hours, if you get 10 other people doing that, you've got 240 hours in a day to be fucking about with. But literally, I've got 24 hours in my day. I've just said goodbye to a friend who was literally taking the piss. But like, literally, I choose how to spend my 24 hours wisely, and I don't have people in my life and whatever, because my brain's always on the go and everything. And if I did just talk to people all the time, I'd be thinking of other people's stuff and all this, that, and the other. I prefer laser focus, do me work, crack on with it. But yeah, so like, literally, Elon Musk only has 24 hours in his day, and he is worth millions a day. And I get what, fuck knows, I never worked it out, a couple of quid. Do you know what I mean? Now, I've got multiple sclerosis. I can't go out and work, so I don't deserve millions of pounds in a day. Also, in case you hadn't noticed, got to get it, plug myself in again, don't monetize my channel, because I work for free, literally. And in my spare time, I am crocheting octopi, for this year's Halloween, because I've decided that that's my favourite. It's my favourite holiday, because I get to, like, make kids happy. So everybody this year is getting a crocheted octopus. So I've started early, because I did worry worms a couple of years ago, and like, I got through 50 of them, and I know that once they've realised they get an actual stuffed toy, I'm going to have every kid on the fucking estate, hopefully, because I intend to have 100 of them done by then. But that's how I choose to live my life. I'm that, like, I don't want anything for myself. All I want, the greatest gift that anybody can give me, is the time out of their day to listen to what I'm saying and try to understand where I'm coming from. Because literally, the path that we're going, is not the path. We've always been on this path. Them bastards have always run us. And obviously, JFK, I do believe, tried to warn about such a thing. But since then, and especially these days, I've watched the pantomime unfurl. When I was little, I believed all of this shit. I believed that I went to school for all of the years that you're meant to go to school, and I was told that kings and queens deserve it all, that war is the only way to sort out any sort of disagreement whatsoever, and that money will just change shit. You pay £1 to wear your own clothes. Thankfully, I was preschool uniform. Thank fuck, because I don't know how my mum had to cope with 5 kids when my dad died, with all that fucking malarkey. But yeah, nowadays it's like, oh yeah, come in, pay £1, and you get to dress as yourself for a day. You get to wear your own clothes to school, but it's going to cost you money, literally. And that's what kids grow up thinking, because we take them as soon as they can wipe their own arse. And nowadays it ain't even that, because I've seen teachers complaining about this, that some kids can't wipe their own arse because everybody's plugged into fucking devices now. I just walked past 2 fucking school kids on the way to the co-op, and they're both there on their phone, 2 young girls. Now, if that had been me when I was that age, we'd have been laughing and joking. We'd have been fucking talking about what had happened at school, all the boys we fancied, and all this, that, and the other, and like what films we were going to watch, what books we'd been reading. These 2 girls, both of them, on their phone, just like zombies. We're doing our children a disservice. We need to start coming together and discussing a different way of doing this, because the wealth will never be redistributed back to us if we leave it with them. You cannot trust a billionaire to make decisions that's going to benefit poor people. It shouldn't need explaining, but the world is so on its arse. They literally piss on us until it's raining on a daily basis. They gaslight us. And we need to start making some sense out of it. I'm 53 years old, and it was only yesterday that I tweaked that, hold on a minute, like, do what? So you can spend $100 billion on AI, on the future of AI, when you've got no healthcare, because it's a billionaire that's paying for it, mate. It's not the taxpayer, don't worry. But they got the money from the taxpayer. Somewhere down the line, they fucked over the taxpayer. I'm starting to not make sense in my head, so I'm going to leave it there. But please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're not subscribed, please do. No ads, never any ads, mate. I'm never going to ask you anything. And when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway out of my own pocket. All of the prizes completely free. Postage completely free. Not going to cost you anything. Right? I will show you that this world can be run on love, not money. Money still needs to be, and they knew that when they designed the fucking monetary system, mate, whenever it was, hundreds of years ago. Was it the Knights Templar? But I think there's got to be some kind of bartering system, but not like this. Not like this, where you've got that many people who own that much stuff and that many people who own that much stuff. It can't. Well, it's not running like that. It's not benefiting anybody but but because they've got the shiny picture box to talk to you on, everybody's like, oh, wish I could be like that. Everybody's wanting to be a billionaire now. You'll never make it, my darling. You'll never make it. Most of us will die with not even $5,000 in the bank. And nobody cares, because we're told that the billionaires are the ones that we've got to worship. And do you know what? There are people on my estate, there are people that I have in my daily life who I worship, who I fucking love the bones of. And none of them, definitely none of them, have got the word sir in front of their name. And none of them have got millions in the bank. In fact, if anybody comes at me, and it does happen quite a bit, going, oh, I've got money, I'll look after you. And what, mate, you're talking to the wrong person. Like, literally, I do not care what you have. I care what's in there. I care about your heart. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there, she says again, because I can never shut up when I tell myself to shut up. But thank you for coming. Please come back, and never forget that I love you all. Bye.